Hi, my name is Corey Marshall, head writer for Jentertainment, sitting here with Pastor Shaw from Metropolitan Baptist Church here in Cocoa.
Hi, my name is Reverend Ronald Shaw. I'm currently the interim pastor for Metropolitan Baptist Church in the great city of Cocoa. I'm also an assistant principal with the school board. I work at Madison Middle School in Titusville.
You went to Cocoa High School?
Went to elementary school in Cocoa, Cambridge Elementary. They bused us to Kennedy down in Rockledge for middle school, and then we got back on level playing field at Cocoa High School.
And you played football?
Played football at Cocoa High School and ran track. As big as I am, you can see I did the shot put in the discus to be on the team and, do a little running and weight training and whatnot to be a part of the team. But definitely football from 9th grade all the way to my senior year. In 1987, we were the first team to actually win a playoff game. Mike was saying the history of the school from 1970 on up. We won a playoff game. We went undefeated that year. And we lost the second game before the state championship, 7-6. We still sit around and talk about what shoulda, coulda, woulda been all these years later. That was in 87.
So y'all lost the second game before the state championship.
Right. We were in the Final Four. If we would have won that game, the state championship would have been at our home stadium. It definitely stings harder than hard. All these years later, we still think about how close we were, especially when you have an undefeated season.
Right, and to lose 7-6 too.
One little raggedy point.
After high school, what journey did you take?
After high school, I went to Pennsylvania, way up in the middle of nowhere. I went to Mansfield University in Pennsylvania. I played football there my freshman year. Basically was a walk-on, but I got to play in a few of the games.
Okay.
I was second string.
Okay.
And I would have started had I gone back the next year. But my degree that I majored in, I got a bachelor's in physics and a minor in math from Mansfield. By the time you get through with all your lab classes and all those classes that are set during the time when you need to be at practice, it's just a lot to try to juggle. And the program was kind of, not trying to put it down, but it was mediocre as far as what they were doing. And coming from a team that was traditionally winning, I just lost my love to be out there going through it to play, to be honest with you. Combined with the fact of how much time it took to major in what I majored in, it was just a no-win situation. So I stopped after my freshman year.
Yeah. Where did you work anytime you were in college?
I was a resident assistant.
Oh, you're right.
Exactly. I would tell on anybody.
He was a snitch. Let me write that.
What's your name? Social security number. That's all I would ask. Yeah, but I did that from my sophomore year on to my senior year. I was blessed. I had what they call a Board of Governors scholarship. I was an out-of-state student back then. It would have cost me $7,000 a year to go to school. That covered my tuition, the Board of Governors scholarship, which was totally different from football. It was a blessing. Board of Governors.
Governors, okay.
Board of Governors scholarship. When I became a resident assistant, RA, that covered my room and board. So I was basically very comfortable in college.
Hey, so while going to school, what was the dream? Like, what did you want to become?
When I was in college, I actually aspired to be an engineer.
Okay.
That was the ultimate goal, to be an engineer, get a job at NASA, get involved in the space program and all of that, because my stepfather, before he passed, worked at NASA. So it was like a win-win situation. Being an undergrad majoring in physics, going the engineering route, that was the goal. When it was all said and done, it didn't work out that way. I ended up in education, which I wouldn't trade for anything, to be honest with you. I've taught school for 12 years. I've taught math for 12 years. I've been assistant principal now. This is my 5th year as assistant principal. 5th year as assistant principal that I'm finishing now. And I just enjoy watching that light go off in the kids' eyes when they understand what you're trying to teach them, and being able to be that one key person in their life that can kind of make a difference in a person's life. It just, to me, it's a bigger scale than being an engineer in a cubicle, doing your thing, solving problems. And at the end of the day, you get a product that you roll out, but there's nothing sweeter than touching somebody's life year after year after year. It's a blessing.
It's a good thing. Yeah, you're right. That does feel good. I agree with that. Where were you a teacher at?
I started teaching at Johnson Junior High in Melbourne. I taught there for a few years. I went to Satellite High School. I taught math over there for a year. I went back to Johnson. Then I went to Cocoa High for a few years.
Where did the inspiration come from to become a pastor?
Really, the inspiration for me came from God Almighty. I've known ever since I was a little kid that there was something different about my path and my walk, and God had a greater calling on my life. And as I grew older through college, it just would ring out more and more to me that, you know, He had me for something different. Especially around my senior year in college, you begin to kind of sense it. Well, yeah, you were out there doing your thing, but it just didn't fit right. You didn't fit in right, and the folk that you were with really didn't allow me to fit in right. So God had a unique way of dealing with me and pushing me out of that setting. I'm not gonna sit here and say I've been perfect even since I left college. You know, there have been some things that I've gone through, some situations, but through it all, He constantly kept pulling me away from that and pulling me to Him, to where I needed to be.
Can you tell me about some of the past, some of the things that you've done in the past to help the community at Cocoa?
I've been pretty actively involved in different things. And working at Cocoa High School, I worked a lot with the young people. There, I still do at the church and different things that we do at the church with the young people. I was on Diamond Square Redevelopment Board, which is a redevelopment plan for what they call Census 626. It's basically they go into different cities and they look for the blighted areas that need to be redeveloped. I was a member of that board and I was chairperson of that board until I went back to school to get my master's degree. Did a lot of work, and that board is still ongoing right now as far as different projects in the community. And I'm pretty much always on call for, you know, whatever is needed in the community. Mainly right now trying to keep it as stable as far as ministry is concerned there with the fellowship and trying to move ahead. Really looking at that targeting a particular age group right now more than it's ever been targeted before, and that's right out of high school graduates up to about right around in their 30s. That's a big void in our church and in most churches right now. People just don't feel the need to go. You know, our churches are old-time traditional. Young people need things that are fast-moving, you know, that's going to keep their attention and captivate them. That's one of the things that I'm very passionate about as we move forward and seeing what can I do to be a part of to fill that void, to get more young people to be passionate about going to church. It's like with little kids now. Gone are the days of yesterday when they wanted to be there and you could just give them Easter speeches and stuff like that, and that excited them enough. You need a little bit more than that now.
Right, so you need like to build up the whole church and
right.
Like basically revolutionize it.
Exactly.
Okay,
if it's not me to do it, it's me behind the scenes helping, because like I said, I'm a pastor right now in an interim role, and that's basically means it's a temporary status. But however the Lord continues to work with me, I just go with His flow.
So in the next 5 years, you probably would you like for this to be a church, or would you like to have your own different church?
If the Lord called me to pastor there, and if it was the Lord that did it, I would not mind it at all. I would do it there. Whenever He says it's time to do it, that's when it's time, on a permanent basis.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, still working for Him, still helping somebody out along the way, still working with young people, and still trying to teach His word.